Hey guys, before we get into the ornaments, I have my Cricut transfer tape here, and I'm going to get my image ready so that when my ornament's dry I can place it. Now I did this backwards and messed up one of my transfers. I had it fixed, but I stuck it to the wrong side of the paper and now I can't get it off when I tried to fix it. So I've got to cut a second one for my second ornament. But I'm just placing that on there just gently. It's like a magnet, it'll pick it up. I'm just rubbing it with my fingers. Doesn't need a whole lot of pressure. I mean, just barely rubbing it with my fingers. And I'm just going to peel my paper back. Anywhere that it's it's not lifting, like right here, I'm just going back and I'm pressing down and then coming back. No, it doesn't require a lot. I know people are burnish, and sometimes it's needed. It depends on the surface you're going on. But 90% of the time with the Cricut transfer tape, you just need to barely get it to stick. And we're going on to glass, so there's really no need for me to burnish it hard to where it won't come off the tape. Next, I've got my yellow eyes layer, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm trying not to. Let me peel that carefully. I'm going to have to adjust that one. You want to set it in the center and get one eye at a time, and just barely get it on there, lining it up from straight above, and then stick it down. And I will fix that one. I'm not going to burnish that hard so that I can pull that up and get it off of there. And you can do that with vinyl. You can move it, but you can't press it down really hard and then move it. You'll never get it to work. But I'm just peeling that paper backing off. Let me see if I can peel this guy back up with my weeding tool. I was talking and not paying attention. I apologize if I get off camera, but I'm trying to be very careful with this piece. And I want to get that off of there. I'm just going to lay that to the side. And I'm trying to separate these two pieces of vinyl. Hopefully I can, or I'm going to be cutting another eye. That's what happens when you're not paying attention to what you're doing and playing on the camera. Let's see. I think I can. Yeah, he's starting to lift. There we go. And if I can get a hold, and be very careful, I can separate this piece. I might be stretching it too. I may have to just cut another eye. But with you guys, you just be careful with yours when you cut it and you go to layer, and make sure you lay that center down first while standing overhead on your eyeball. And don't let it touch or suction up because of the static electricity until you're ready for it. I guess you guys can tell I've been here more than once. Just trying to be extremely careful. I'm still stretching it, I believe. Yeah. Not going to salvage that one. I did salvage this piece, so I'm just going to hold on to it. I don't know. Well, maybe. I can salvage the one I threw in the trash, but I doubt it. See, when I did it, I put my eyeball back down and I put it on the paper portion, and guess what? That's the right eyeball. I did salvage one. So I have an eyeball. And I'm just going to place that down. Yay! I have my eyeballs. I'm putting it back on the Cricut paper. And I'm just going to let that sit. I'm not going to press it down. I'm not going to fool with it. I'm just going to let it sit. I do have to get that wrinkle out though. You don't want a big wrinkle in there. No need to press it, burnish it, any of that stuff. Just let it sit. Okay, let me get our glitter together and my ornaments, the polyacrylic and the pledge, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back and I have my polyacrylic. This is satin, I have matte, I have gloss. Doesn't really matter. I've done them all and I really couldn't tell a difference in any of them. This is more expensive and it stinks in my opinion. And then I have the pledge floor care. You want the finish. You don't want the I think some people use Mop and Glow, that'll work, but you want the finish. You don't want a cleaner. You want the finish. And of course your ornaments and your glitter. And I'm just going to pull these caps out and set them to the side with my vinyl. Don't need that. They should be clean on the inside. You shouldn't have to do anything. The first thing you're going to do, and I'm using a little cup that came with some carpet shampooer. I just kept the cup when I threw it away so I would have something. And you just want to pour a little bit in there. I've got a little more in this container than I really need. And you want to run that around. I'll pour a little more in there so I can run it around easier. Because you can always put it back in the container. I'm not going to fool with taking the lid back off of that. But you want to roll this around and coat everything on the inside of this ornament very well. Get a good coat. You can see if you've got missing places. I don't know if that's showing up well on camera, but it won't have that milky look or whatever on it. Just hold it over your container as you roll it around so when it spills out that it goes into that container. Then I just use these little, I get these from the Dollar Tree and they have lids and everything with them. You can use medicine cups, whatever, but you want to turn it upside down and let that drain. Okay? It needs to drain completely. It does not need to be dripping. If it's dripping when you go to put your glitter in there, you've got too much of the polyacrylic in it. Then with the pledge, this is what I like about it. It's so easy. Squirt a little bit in, close it up. You don't need that extra cup. And again, I'm just going to swish it around and coat the entire ornament. If you don't have air bubbles in there, it's better. So squirt slowly. Trying to gather them up here. Let me put a little more in there to see if I can get rid of the air bubbles. But I'm just squirting slowly on this one. Swish it around. Get it coated good. And I'm just holding it over the same container I'm going to let it drain on. And then I'll put this back in a bottle. Again, let it sit and just drip. While that's dripping, you can get yourself a funnel. I'm using this Recollections glitter in pesto color for my Grinch. It's new. I haven't opened it, so let me see if I can get the lid off without making glitter go everywhere. Almost did. And I'm just going to get it off of there. There we go. And then I'm just going to remove that protective cap. And I got some glitter down there on the table, but it'll be okay. I'm going to snap that back on. And it's going to try to stick where I spilled some pledge. That's okay, I'll clean it later. And you can see that I've got a little pooling there. Be very careful if you stick your hand in there. I don't think it's going to hurt anything with those air bubbles. I don't normally have them, so I don't know. Just going to rinse them out. And all you have to do, if you've got air bubbles sitting like that, just put a little bit more in there just at the neck and rinse it out. And this seems to still be dripping just a little. They say 5 minutes. Let it drip for 5 minutes. People that I've talked to that swear by that. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to get my sheet of paper. You make yourself a funnel. Hope you guys can hear me. I just walked about 3 or 4 steps away. You're just going to either use a funnel, or I'm going to just try to pour straight from this container since it has a corner on it. And the pledge is already finished dripping. I don't have anything coming out. Push that to the side. And over the paper, we're going to pour glitter in there. And this is why we're over paper, so that the mess stays on there. And then I'm just going to shake that glitter around to coat my ornament. You don't have to shake it hard, just kind of roll it around like you did with the liquid in there. Same principle. And that looks coated. You don't have to tap this, just shake the extra glitter out. You don't have to shake it hard. I'm going to hold that up to the light, and I'm not able to see through it. It looks fine to me, no problem. I'm just going to let that sit and dry. I can lay it flat to dry because I let it drip. There was nothing dripping. Everything was done with that. And then I am going to put my glitter back in the container here so I can go again. And that's not dripping now. It's got like a milky appearance to it, but that's what polyacrylic does. Pour some glitter in. Same thing, roll it around. Doesn't appear to be coating any differently in my opinion so far. It did take more glitter. It soaked up more glitter on there. And I'm holding it up to the light and checking it. And you probably can't see it on camera. If you hold it up straight up in front of a light, you can see through the pledge one a little bit more than you can the polyacrylic. But both of them, I can see through both of them. And on camera, because I don't think people are going to snatch these off the tree and hold them up to the light. So I'm not really understanding why people are insisting on using polyacrylic instead. I have ornaments that I did last year using the pledge. I'm going to put the pledge on the left and the poly on the right so that we can check them when they're dry. And we put our vinyl on there in a couple of hours because I like to let them dry basically really overnight So I'm going to let it dry, and you guys are going to see tomorrow when we resume the video which one does the best after drying. So again, the pledge is on the left and the polyacrylic is on the right. And at this point, I see no difference except this bottle that I bought last year and done a ton of ornaments. I still have a ton of this left. Cost me $5-6. This cost $20. So, I mean, you can buy smaller cans of it, but it's the same amount just about, I believe. This one is 27 ounces. This one is 32. So, you get a little bit more in the large can of the polyacrylic, but it costs 3 times as much. So, where you can save money when you're making crafts, that's where you save your money, and I swear by the pledge still. If it looks different to me tomorrow, we'll definitely find out. You guys, stay tuned. Get your vinyl cut, get it ready, get your ornaments done, let them dry, and we'll come back and finish these ornaments up. Okay guys, I'm back. I've been letting mine dry for maybe 30-45 minutes, and I can see that by the tops of them that these are basically dry, so I'm going to go for it. I've already cleaned both of the ornaments with alcohol. I use denatured alcohol, but you guys use whatever you have. Just make sure you clean them, because where you are handling them, your fingerprints and oils and things of that nature are going to be on there, and you don't want that. And I have made my Grinch face a little too large. I told you guys 3.5 inches, and it really should be smaller than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on in 2 pieces. I've cut them in half. And I'm going to start with my eyes, and I'm going to get them trying to hold that center. Let's see. This is a little trick. I tried to save some of these guys, and I know that I did. I just have to locate it. Oh yeah. An empty ribbon spool. That's all you need. This will help greatly when you're doing ornaments, to keep them from wobbling and rocking and stuff like that on you. So you just want to peel the paper off, and then I'm just going to sit it there. That way it's not wobbling, it's not rocking, it's not going anywhere on me, and I can work with it. And then I'm just going to place them and just gently rub. And my eyes are a little off, but like I said, I'm going to live with it. I don't think it looks too bad. And then I'm pulling this vinyl straight back, or this transfer tape I should say, and it's there, it's done. Now my mouth, I'm just going to move it up a little bit. It's a little large. I'm probably going to peel this off and redo the mouth, make it a little smaller. You guys do yours however you feel. I don't know, it's starting to look good now. Maybe it was just the way I was looking at it. We'll see. And again, and you see I didn't burnish. I just rubbed that with my fingers gently. It's on there. Not going to worry about it. Set him to the side, and we're going to do the one that we used poly in. And again, I told you I didn't burnish that. I just laid it on there to rest while I let things dry. And again, I'm going to cut this one apart as well. I'm just rubbing with my fingers. No need to burnish extremely hard. The vinyl is going to stick. If you cleaned it with alcohol, it's going to stick. Just give it a day or so. After it's on, then you can press and rub if you want. Just going to work that around. And I'm just putting the transfer tape flat. Just keeping it flat and peeling it back. And I did get a little wrinkle there, but that was my fault. That's when I put it on. Just going to take my weeding tool, lift it up, and press it down. No wrinkles, no anything. Then you're just going to replace your caps. And bows, however you want to decorate this up. Well, Santa hats, whatever. I made some bows on my Bow Deborah, and I'm just going to tie that off on the back. I might clip that off. It depends on how this looks. When I'm done, I'm kind of liking that. I may just leave that. You can do anything that you want to do. I might even change these out to plain red ribbon. I don't know, I kind of like it. Just something I had handy. Use what you have. No need to go out and buy a bunch of stuff when you have things you can use on hand. Oops. Well, that didn't cut very well. There we go. And you can hot glue these on. I'm probably going to move those off. But as you can see, I'm not seeing any difference in the polyacrylic versus the pledge. And as I said, I made ornaments last year, a couple of years ago, and so far they're looking the same. And I have used I used polyacrylic on one once for white glitter, and I could tell a difference there. So if I'm not using the white glitter, I generally don't go to polyacrylic. I will say that when I've done the white, the polyacrylic did do better with the white and silver glitters as well. But everything else, I've not had a problem with the pledge in them at all. Even the red grandma ones I did a couple of weeks ago. I think there's some pictures in the group photos in the Facebook groups. I did the reds on those and the greens, and they look perfectly fine using the pledge. So you guys have a wonderful crafting day. Thanks for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not subscribed already. Come over to the Facebook groups, either Cricut Maker Projects or Cricut Crafting, and join up. We have new projects and everything going all the time. Have a wonderful crafting day, and this is ornament number 6 in the 12 ornaments of Christmas. So number 7 coming up next. You guys have a great day.